I see Coach Evans every day, and no matter what he's going through or what's in his life, he's always smiling, he's always happy, and he's a great man. He loves Jesus. And he tells us every day, he's like, I'm ready to die. Like, if I die today, I know where I'm going. And I just think, like, wow.
I think that he is a true servant. He loves the Lord, obviously, but through everything that he does, that shines through.
The way I look at Roger, I think of Philippians, for me to live is Christ and to die is gain. And with Roger, he wants Christ to be magnified in everything he does, and he's not letting this disease hold him back. In fact, he's using it to bring honor and glory to God and to allow the kids to see that God is with him and walking with him the whole way through this disease.
We were driving in a school bus in downtown Tampa, and we look out the window, and there's a young man with a armload of meat that he was running from. And you look behind, and there was an obvious grocer with a white apron chasing after him, gesturing, "Stop, stop." And Roger is sitting behind me and says, "Coach, pull over." And I said, "What?" He said, "Pull over." So I pulled the bus over to the side of the road. Roger jumped out and pursued the thief. He was faster than the butcher was in catching this guy, and he tracked him down. As the guy looked over his shoulder, he saw Roger, and Roger says, "Drop the meat." And he dropped the meat, and the thief ran off. The girls' soccer team was on the bus watching this whole thing, and they started cheering and clapping, and it was just crazy. And Roger got back on the bus. He was like a hometown hero.
Roger, he's always joyful. He's always happy. And when I grow up, I hope I can be more like him.
Excellent working with kids. There wasn't a kid in there that didn't feel special because he made them feel that way. Great teacher, always very practical, and all his messages, something that not just the kids could get something out of, but all of us leaders always did. He was compassionate and just loving. Everybody knew it, and fun, really fun.
Well, he just loves being at school, being with the kids, and doing what he does. You know, sometimes you hear people say, "Gee, when you get to the end of your life, nobody's going to say, 'Gee, I should have spent more time at the office.'" But in Roger's case, you know, he to not come to school every day would just be awful. And he just loves being here, and that exhilarates him, and that just drives him, and he does everything he can do to be here every day. And I think that that's very unique about him, but he really draws his energy from carrying out the calling that God's placed on his life. And I think that's exemplary for all of us.
One of the best things I loved about working with Roger was that he could take an absolute no budget and make it a great event. And he taught me also that you don't need a big budget, you don't need a big event, you don't need, you know, all the bells and whistles. You just need to show that you love these students and that you invest in them, and they flock to you. And that's evident because everybody flocks to Roger because of that, because he invests in them and because he's a servant.
Roger just is like a magnet. I mean, kids are drawn to him, adults are drawn to him because he just exhibits the joy of the Lord. And you just see that this guy is joyful, and he's faced a lot of adversity and tough times, and he's always joyful. If you don't like Roger Evans, then you know something's really wrong with you.
You either believe or you don't. And when cancer enters your life, I've said this many times, and because cancer is in my life now, but when cancer enters your life, you realize real quickly the only thing stronger than fear is faith. And I have watched Roger Evans this entire 3 years he's been going through this walk in faith with a smile on his face, knowing that, you know, my job, wherever this cancer takes me, my job as a human being is to influence others for the realm of Christ.